Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're having a little review on how to solve a system of equations. So you're going to be using this assignment here called Systems Practice 3. What's going on is the instructions are a little bit different than normal. Normal is just like solve the system. But I want you to be more deliberate on how you approach these systems. So what I want you to do first is look at them and decide whether or not you want to you want to substitute or eliminate on that particular problem. So let's look at a few of these and do that first. Should we substitute or eliminate? So let's look at one and look at your system and decide what you want to do. Would it be good to substitute or eliminate on that problem? Well, when I see something like this, I notice it tells me that y equals a thing. And so this can easily be substituted in the y of the other equation. So I think substitution could work on this one. Well, let's jump to another one. Let's look at 3. Again, it's got this y equals stuff, and so I can substitute that into the other equation for the y. So I'd go with substitution on this one as well. Let's jump down to this one. Let's look at 5. So on 5, as I look at my equations, it doesn't say x equals anything or y equals anything. And so substitution is not looking good for this one. Let's see if elimination works. Well, the x's and y's are matched up here. They're lined up. And so that one is set up for elimination. Though, I would have to take one of my equations and times by something to get them to match. I see I got 2x and then x. I could just take this bottom one and times it all by 2. And that would make my x's match up, and then I can do my elimination. So that's something to keep note of when you're trying to figure out substitution or elimination, whether it's easy to do one or the other. Let's look at 7. Look at 7 and think, would this be good for substitution or elimination? Did you pick elimination? Because that's what I would do. On this one, I see you got positive 4y and negative 4y. If I add those together, the y's will disappear. They'll eliminate. And so I'm going to go with that one. Now let's look at 9. What would you do on this one? Substitute or eliminate? Did you do elimination again? Because that would probably be really good, because here you got 6x and 6x. If you subtract them, you will get 0x, which eliminates the x's. So yeah, that'd be a great first step there for solving something like 9. So what I want you to do is pause the video and go through the rest of them and see if you can find out whether you want to substitute or eliminate on all of them, and then come back. Alright, so now that you're back, we're going to talk about what to do next. So we're supposed to first state whether to use substitution or elimination, then we're going to write out the substitution or elimination step. So let's go to this number 1 here. We said we were going to substitute this in for y. And so when I'm looking for the substitution step, I want you just to write down what the equation looks like after you do that. So it's going to make x plus 3 equals negative 3x plus 3. If you take this and put it in the y spot, it replaces it. And when you substitute something, you put it in parentheses. So there we go. I have substituted on this one. Let's jump to 3. And again, let's write down the substitution step. Just write down here what it looks like after you put x minus 3 in the y spot. So let's try it out. See if you can get it done. All right, let's check. I'm going to rewrite my second equation here. So negative 6x minus 4. And when I get to y, the y gets replaced entirely. You can put parenthesis, x minus 3, close it, equals negative 18. So this is in place of the y. It gets replaced there. And that's what the substitution looks like. So there's that one. Let's jump to 7. We talked about 7, how it would be good for elimination. Well, to eliminate on this, I would just add my equations. So I'm gonna put it up here, plus, 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 just down my columns. But I'm gonna put my result down here because that's where it asks you to put it. Negative x plus negative 5x is going to give me negative 6x. 4y plus negative 4y is 0y. And then on the right side, 8 plus 16 is 24. So there we go. I did my elimination step. Let's look at 9. Go ahead and do the elimination step. All right, did you subtract on it? because if you subtract, you're going to get 0x. That doesn't do anything, right? 6x minus 6x is 0x. And I got 9 minus 10, so it's going to be negative 1y. Let me write that a little bit better. Negative 1y. And on the right side, 15 minus 22 is negative 7. So there, I did it. I eliminated one of my variables. The x is gone when you subtract. Let's do one that's a little bit harder for the elimination. I skipped over number 5. It's a little bit hard for eliminating. So I'm going to take my second equation and times it all by 2. So I'm going to take this and rewrite it down here. So I got 2x minus 5y on the top equals negative 21. And then I'm going to have 2x minus 6y equals negative 26. I'm taking that entire second equation and times it all by 2. So now that I've done that, I have my equations lined up here. I can eliminate by subtracting these. So I'm going to put subtract, subtract, subtract. Actually, let me do a different color so you can see a little bit better. Subtract, subtract, subtract. 2x minus 2x is 0x. Hooray. And I got negative 5y minus negative 6y is 1y. And then on the right side there, negative 21 minus negative 26 is positive 5. So there we go. I did my elimination step on that. So that's what's going on for step 2. So you can think of it as step 1, step 2, and then we got our third thing, which is after you've done that, then finish solving them. So yeah, after you've done your substitution, after you've done your elimination, go ahead and finish solving. So let's go to number 1 and finish some solving so you can see it. I'm going to switch to red to finish solving. These parentheses here don't do anything. There's no number in front, or the number in front's 1, so it gets rid of my parentheses. And now I'm going to finish solving. To finish solving, you want to get your x's together. So I'm going to add 3x to get it out of the right side and onto the left. Now I got 4x plus 3 equals 3. And now I can subtract 3, subtract 3. Now I got 4x equals 0. And from here, I still need to finish solving for x. So I got x is 0. So I'm going to divide by 4. After you get your x value, you're going to take it and plug it into one of your equations. Up here, I like to plug it into, well, whatever works out. I'm going to put it here. So I'm going to put 0 there. And now I'm going to get y equals 0 plus 3. Again, it's supposed to be in parentheses. They're not doing anything this time. So I got 0 plus 3, so y is 3. Hooray! I got my x is 0, y is 3. So I'm going to put them together to write out my point of 0, 3. And I got my problem done. Let's do one more. Let's do the other substitution one so you can see that as well. After you substitute it in, you do need to distribute negative 4 into your system here. So now I get negative 6x minus 4x and then plus 12. Right, negative 4 times negative 3 is positive. So now that I got this, I'm going to combine like terms over here. So I got negative 10x, and then plus 12 equals negative 18. And I'm going to subtract 12. I got negative 10x equals negative 30. And from here I can divide by negative 10. I got x is 3. Hooray! Now that I have my x value, I'm going to plug it into one of my equations. I see that this one is probably the easier one to plug into, just because it says y equals everything else already. So I'm going to put y equals, my x value was 3, and then it's got minus 3 on it. So I get y equals 3 minus 3, which is 0. So now I got my y value and my x value. I'm going to put them together to write out my answer of 3, 0. There we go. So that's what's going on in this. You're just practicing solving your systems, but you have to think about what you're going to do before you do it. So there you go. Good luck.